I never thought I'd wake up in my sister's body, staring at my own face in the mirror, plotting how to burn down the empire she'd stolen from me. The scalpel's cold kiss had been her idea, a twisted gift from some black market surgeon in the underbelly of Silicon Valley, promising us both a fresh start after Dad's gutted our lives. But as I flexed her manicured fingers, feeling the unfamiliar weight of her designer watch, I realized the real surgery was the one she'd performed on our family long before, slicing me out like a bad appendix. It started with a whisper in the probate lawyer's office, the kind of secret that festers like an untreated wound. Dad's estate, $500,000 in stocks, the cabin in Tahoe, the vintage Mustang he'd promised me on my 21st was gone.
Poof.
Sold off behind my back while I was burying him, tears blurring the eulogy I'd written in his shaky handwriting. My sister, Eliza, stood there in her power suit, eyes dry as the Sahara, signing the papers with a flourish that said, "This is mine now." She'd always been the golden child, the one who charmed her way through Yale while I scraped by on community college loans, fixing cars in Dad's garage to pay the bills. But this was betrayal carved in legalese. A $500,000 heist masked as estate optimization. I confronted her that night, rain hammering the roof of her Palo Alto condo like it was trying to drown out the truth. "How could you? Eliza? That was my inheritance. Dad left it to me for the garage, for the life we talked about." She sipped her Chardonnay, legs crossed on that white leather couch that cost more than my rent. "Brinley, honey, you were always the dreamer. Garages don't make empires. I did it for us, for the family." Her smile was a razor, slicing through my rage. But underneath, I caught the flicker, guilt, or maybe just the thrill of the con. That's when she dropped the bomb. "Besides, I fixed it. We're getting that procedure tomorrow. You'll wake up as me, new life, new body, new chances. No more grease under your nails." The procedure. God. It sounded like a spa day when she pitched it months ago, back when Dad's cancer was just a shadow on the scans. Some rogue neurotech whiz in the Bay Area, peddling body swaps like they were Botox injections. Think about it,
Bryn.
You get my looks, my network, my everything. I get a clean slate, away from the spotlight that's burning me out. I'd laughed it off then, called it sci-fi bullshit. But desperation has a way of rewriting your morals. Dad's treatments drained us, and Eliza's startup was tanking. We needed money fast. She found the surgeon through dark web forums, a ghost named Dr. Voss who promised seamless consciousness transfers for the price of a kidney.
Or,
in our case, Eliza's half of the inheritance she'd already started liquidating. I said yes because she made it sound noble. A sisterly bond, transcending flesh. We'd swap back in a year, once the dust settled. But as the anesthesiologist's mask descended in that sterile warehouse clinic, Eliza's hand squeezed mine, my hand, soon to be hers, and I saw the lie in her eyes. She wasn't planning on swapping back. Ever. Waking up was like surfacing from a nightmare into another one. My vision swam, then sharpened on a ceiling fan spinning lazy circles in a room that screamed Eliza, minimalist grays, abstract art that cost a fortune, a king bed with silk sheets tangled around legs that weren't mine. I bolted upright, heart slamming like a V8 engine redlining. The mirror across the room, full length, merciless, showed her face staring back. Sharp cheekbones, honey blonde hair cascading like a shampoo ad, green eyes that could sell ice to Eskimos. But inside, Brinley Harper, grease monkey and betrayed daughter, screaming silently. I touched her face, feeling the smooth skin where my acne scars should be. The body felt wrong, lighter,
Kavya.
perfumed with something floral and expensive. Downstairs, the front door clicked open. Voices. Hers, mine, laughing with some venture capitalist prick named Trent, the one who'd bankrolled her app before it flopped. I froze, pulse thundering. If I walked down there, what then? Play along? Or expose the swap and watch her spin it as my breakdown? The secret she'd buried hit me like exhaust fumes. Dad didn't just die of cancer. He'd confessed to me in the hospital, voice a rasp, that Eliza had forged his signature on those early investments. She'd siphoned funds from his retirement to prop up her dreams, leaving him penniless when the chemo bills rolled in. It was her mistake,
Bryn.
but don't tell. It'll destroy her. I'd shouldered it all, dropping out, working doubles, lying to the nurses about payments. Took the blame when collectors called. Let them think I was the screw-up daughter. For family. For peace. But Eliza? She'd twisted that knife deeper, selling off the rest while I mourned.
Now.
In her skin, I had access. Her phone buzzed on the nightstand, texts from lawyers confirming the Tahoe cabin sale to some tech bro for $300K. The Mustang? Flipped on Craigslist for peanuts. $500,000. Evaporated. My future. Her playground. I dressed in her clothes, tailored blouse, pencil skirt that hugged like a second skin, and descended the stairs. Each step a rehearsal for war. Trent was there. All bro handshake and crypto bro lingo. But Eliza in my body. My sturdy 5 feet 6 inches frame crammed into jeans that hung loose, lounged on the couch like she'd been born to it. Our eyes met. Hers, mine, widened for a split second, then narrowed in calculation. Babe, you look rested, she said, voice mine but laced with her silk. Feeling reborn, I replied, channeling her purr. Trent bought it, droning on about NFTs while I sipped coffee that tasted like regret. But under the table, my foot, her Louboutin heel, tapped a rhythm of fury. That night, after he left, we faced off in the kitchen, the city lights mocking us through floor-to-ceiling windows. You bitch, I hissed, my voice, her voice, low and lethal. You weren't gonna swap back. This was your exit strategy. Sell everything. Jump into my life. Leave me trapped as the empty shell. I leaned against the marble island, smirking with my freckled lips. Don't be dramatic.
Bryn.
Your life's simpler. No paparazzi. No board meetings. You'll thank me when you settle into it. But her eyes darted to the wine rack, and I saw the tremor in her hand. She was scared.
Good.
I could have called Voss right then, demanded the reversal. But where's the fun and mercy?
No.
This betrayal demanded poetry. I'd live her life, unravel her empire thread by thread, make her watch from my skin as it crumbled. The first move, her calendar. Tomorrow, a pitch to investors for her Reboot app, a dating service for the elite, ironically called Soul Swap. Fitting. I go, but not as Eliza the Flake. As Eliza the Shark. The boardroom in Sandhill Road was a viper pit, VCs in hoodies, eyeing me like fresh meat. I strode in, heels clicking like gunfire, and launched into the pitch. Words flowed, hers, but fueled by my grit. Soul swap isn't just matching, it's transcendence. Trade your facade for the real you. They ate it up. Questions flying. By the end, term sheets were waving. Eliza would have botched it with jargon. I nailed it with stories from the garage. Raw and relatable. $1 million in funding.
Locked.
Back home, she was pacing in the living room, my old Oilers cap crooked on her head. What the hell was that? You just charmed them? Her voice cracked, my voice, but brittle. Learn from the best thief in the family, I shot back, tossing the contracts on the coffee table. Your move was sloppy.
Sis. But mine?
Immaculate. That night, sleep evaded us both. I lay in her bed, scrolling her emails, threads with Voss about permanent neural locks, bribes to the probate judge to rubber stamp the sales. The secret deepened. Dad's will wasn't just forged, she'd poisoned the well. Spreading rumors I was unstable. A junkie even. To sway the executor. I'd borne that too. The sideways glances at the funeral. Whispers of poor Brinley. Always the wild one. Lies she'd planted to make herself the savior. But power? Eliza wielded it like a blunt instrument. Her network was a web of enablers. Trent, who overlooked her coke-fueled all-nighters, the lawyer who'd lost my claims, even Mom, back in Ohio, who'd bought the narrative hook, line, and sinker. Calling Mom would have been easy, expose it all.
But no.
Controversial choices define revenge. I let the rot spread, feeding it just enough to watch it consume her from inside my skin. Week 2, I dove deeper. Posed as her at galas. Schmooze senators over steak at the grill, places where deals were sealed in whispers. Soul swap ballooned, press called me, the visionary reborn. Meanwhile, Eliza,
Stuck as me.
floundered. She tried the garage, but my tools felt foreign in her soft hands. Customers laughed at Brinley's sudden polish, mistaking it for snobbery. Bills piled, my rent. Her Amex statements I'd rerouted. She begged via text, swap back. This is a me. Not yet, I replied. Learn what it's like to carry the weight. The tension coiled like a spring.
Paranoia set in.
I caught her rifling through my closet one night, hunting for clues. You're enjoying this too much, she snarled. My face twisted in her fury. Enjoying? This is justice. Eliza. You sold my soul for stock tips. Now live it. But cracks formed in me too. Her body betrayed cravings, caffeine jitters, the itch for validation in every like on her feed. I stared at mirrors, hating the beauty that masked my scars. Was this revenge or theft? The line blurred, and in quiet moments, Dad's voice echoed, family first.
Bryn.
Always. By month 3, the climax brewed. Soul Swap launched to fanfare, billboards in Times Square, features in Wired. A $500 million valuation overnight. Investors clamored. Trent proposed over champagne, ring glinting like fool's gold. I said yes, lips curving in her smile, but my mind plotted the kill shot. Eliza, unraveling in my apartment, had taken to drink, my hard-earned cash funding her benders. She'd called Voss, demanded reversal, but I had his number now. One call, double the price.
Doc.
Or the feds get your ledger.
He caved.
The swap could happen. But why rush? The real twist waited in Dad's old lockbox, hidden in the garage I'd reclaimed. Letters. Dozens. From Eliza to Dad. Confessing not just the forgeries, but worse, she'd accelerated his decline. Swapping his meds with placebos to free up funds sooner. Mercy killing? No, mercantile. I'd borne the guilt of his suffering, thinking it my failure to provide. She'd made me the scapegoat, even forging my signature on hospice waivers. Rage purified then, cold as engine block steel. I invited her to the launch party, a glittering affair at the Fairmont. She arrived in my body, disheveled, eyes wild. "End this," she pleaded in the coat room, away from the flashbulbs. "One condition," I whispered, her perfume choking me.
Confess.
On stage. The assets. The swap. Dad's death. All of it. Her laugh was bitter. My laugh but hollow. "And you get the glory?"
No.
We both go down. The party thrummed, champagne flutes clinking, influencers posing. Trent pulled me aside, whispering about eloping. I nodded, but my eyes locked on Eliza, slipping toward the podium. Security was lax. My face was unremarkable. She grabbed the mic, voice booming. "Soul swap is a lie, just like my life." Gasps rippled. She spilled it all. The betrayal. The swap. The murder veiled as mercy. Phones whipped out, live streaming the meltdown. Chaos erupted, VCs fleeing, reporters swarming. I watched from the wings, heart a drum solo. But as cops dragged her away, screaming my name in my voice, the twist inverted. Voss's van idled outside, reversal prepped. Yet in the frenzy, a text from Mom. "Brinley? Saw the stream. It's you in there, isn't it? Dad told me everything. Come home." Eliza's empire smoked,
But mine?
rebuilt in the ashes. I slipped out, body still hers, driving the Mustang I'd repurchased with her dirty money. Swap back, maybe. Or maybe I'd keep the skin, forge a new legacy. Family's what you make it, blood or not. And my laugh echoed long after the sirens faded. The aftermath tasted like ash and adrenaline, the kind that lingers after a burnout on the 101. I ditched the Fairmont in a hired Tesla, anonymous. Sleek, heading south toward the garage that was always my anchor. Eliza's phone blew up, voicemails from Trent. "What the fuck? Eliza?" Lawyers, contingency plans in place. Even Voss, procedure ready, your call. But I silenced it, letting the Silicon Valley sprawl blur into the Central Valley's flat promise. $500,000 stolen. A life hijacked. Dad's ghost avenged. Yet victory felt hollow, like revving an engine with no road ahead. Mom's call had cracked something open. Back in Ohio, she'd been the quiet type, baking pies for PDA while Dad chased the American dream out west. Eliza and I grew up splitting Thanksgivings between cornfields and coastal fog, but after Dad's diagnosis, she retreated into denial, swallowing Eliza's spin hole. "Your sister's got it handled," she'd say, sending me care packages of quilted potholders while I wired cash for morphine.
Now.
Her voice on the line, trembling but sure, had pierced the veil. "Brinley, I knew about the letters. He left copies with me, in case. Come home, baby. We fix this together."
Home.
The words snagged like a loose wire. Was it the ranch style in Reno I'd never seen, or the bayou I'd torched? I pulled over at a Dinah's diner, neon flickering against the dawn. and ordered eggs over easy, comfort food in her delicate china plate life. The waitress, a weathered soul named Rita, with tattoos peeking from her uniform, eyed my disheveled Chanel. Rough night. Hon, you look like you could use a stiff one. Rough life, I muttered, Eliza's lilt slipping out. We chatted, small-town gossip, dreams deferred, and for a moment, I envied the simplicity. No swaps. No schemes. Just hash browns and honesty. But as I paid with her black card, the news alert pinged. SoulSwap CEO's sister exposes fraud in viral rant. Is this the end of tech's body swap craze? Eliza's face, mine, plastered across the cuffs glinting under studio lights. She'd lawyered up quick, spinning it as a publicity stunt gone wrong, but the damage stuck. Stocks tanked. Partners bailed.
Good.
Let her marinate in the mess she'd made of my name. Driving on, the Tahoe cabin haunted me. I'd bought it back sight unseen, wiring funds from a slush account Eliza kept for emergencies. Perched on the lake's edge, it was Dad's escape fishing rods in the rafters, a workbench scarred from my first carburetor rebuild. Pulling up the gravel drive, Guy Saucon in my hunt. I half expected him to shuffle out in his flannel, beer in hand. Atta girl.
Bryn.
Fixed her up good.
Inside.
Dust motes danced in sunbeams, the air thick with pine and memory. I wandered the rooms, touching relics, his tackle box, my old Polaroids taped to the fridge. One caught me, Eliza and me at 16, arms slung around each other at prom. Her in sequins, me in borrowed denim.
Sisters. Blood.
What had curdled it? Ambition? Or something darker? A void Dad's favoritism had carved? The lockbox waited under the floorboards, just as he'd described. Letters spilled out, Eliza's script looping like lies. Daddy, I need more. The app's close promise. Then, the gut punch, the pills. I switched them.
For us. You'll see.
Dated weeks before his collapse. She'd borne no burden. I'd carried the corpse of guilt, whispering apologies at his bedside while she jetted to conferences. Controversial? Hell. I debated calling the cops myself, tipping them anonymously. But that would have been clean. This, her in my skin, flailing, was poetic. A mirror to her sins. Phone buzzed, Voss. MS. Harper, whichever, we need to talk. The neural map's degrading. Side effects incoming. Side effects. I'd ignored the fine print. Phantom pains. Identity bleed. Already. Twinges haunted me, itches where my tattoos should be. Echoes of grease in my nostrils. How long before I forgot Brinley altogether? I texted back. Tomorrow. Neutral ground. Night fell heavy, lake lapping like accusations. Sleep came in fits, dreams of scalpels and sales contracts. Woke to birdsong and resolve. Time to dismantle the rest. Back in Palo Alto by noon, the condo a tomb of takeout boxes, her doing from my body.
No.
My doing now. I packed her closets methodically, gowns to Goodwill, heels to the trash.
Kept the laptop, though.
Hacked her emails, password, Daddy Dearest One ironic. Forwarding dirt to journalists. Forged transfers. 2. Diverting residuals from SoulSwap to a trust in my name. $500,000? I'd double it. Build the garage empire Dad dreamed of. Electric conversions. Sustainable rides for the eco-elite. Poetic justice. But Eliza wasn't done. She posted bail that afternoon, showing up at the door in my ratty hoodie, eyes bloodshot.
Bryn. Please.
This body's killing me. The dreams, your memories. The garage. Dad's laugh. I can't. Pity flickered. Unwelcome. You should have thought of that before the swap. Before the pills. Her face crumpled, my face.
Raw.
It wasn't murder. He was suffering.
I.
Accelerated mercy. For the money. Yeah. But also. Love.
Love.
The word hung. Controversial as a plea bargain. I decided then, no cops. Not yet. Let her rot in ambiguity. The public tearing her apart. 1 week, I said. Help me rebuild. Then we swap if you're worthy. She nodded. Desperate. We fell into uneasy alliance, her teaching boardroom BS. Me schooling her on torque wrenches. Days blurred, me jetting to NYC for investor meets. Her scrubbing engines in Reno. Mom visited, pie in hand, hugging Eliza without flinching. I see you. Brinley. Always have. Twist brewed in whispers. Voss called again. The map's not just degrading, it's merging. You too. Blending. Blending. The idea chilled. Thrilled. What if I kept pieces of her? The charm. The connections. Controversial choice. Embrace the hybrid or sever clean. The climax hit midweek. At a dive bar in Oakland, neutral. Grimy.
Ours.
Voss waited in a booth. Laptop glowing with waveforms. Eliza, no. I slid in opposite. Her, my hands fidgeting. Do it, she urged. Voss hesitated. Signatures first. Liability waiver. As pen scratched, sirens wailed outside. Feds? Reporters? No, Trent. Storming in with goons. Face twisted. You think you can tank us? Soul swap's mine now. Betrayals echo. He'd been in on it, the sales, the swap funding. Eliza's lover. My undoing. Chaos exploded. Chairs flying. Voss bolting. I grabbed her, me wrist, dragging through the back alley. Gunshots? No. Just bottles shattering. We ran. Hearts sinking in the night. Hiding in a motel off I-80. Neon buzzing vacancy like a dirge. We panted side by side. He's the real villain, she gasped. Knew about Dad. Pushed me. Truth inverted. Not just family, but a cabal. My rage reignited, but shared now. Then we end him. Together. Alliance forged in sweat and shadows. We planned over stale coffee, leak his ledgers, frame the fraud on him. Controversial? Teeming with the devil I damned. But revenge evolves. The motel room smelled like regret and Lysol. The kind of place where dreams go to die under flickering fluorescence. Eliza, trapped in my skin, looking smaller than ever, and I hashed out the takedown. Her green eyes, wait. No. My brown ones now, darting like cornered prey. Trent's betrayal layered on hers like oil on water. Slick and inseparable. He funded Voss, she admitted. Voice mine but laced with shame. Said it was insurance if the app flopped. We'd reinvent ourselves. But the assets. That was all me. All you, I echoed, her manicured nails digging into palms that felt too soft. And Dad? His mercy? She flinched. Trent suggested the switch. Euthanasia 2.0, he joked. I did it alone. Alone. The word isolated her. And for a heartbeat, I saw the girl who'd braided my hair at 8, whispering secrets under quilts. But mercy doesn't forge signatures or sell legacies.
We're ending this, I said.
Not just him, your whole house of cards. We hit the road at dawn. Her Mustang purring under my touch. Our touch, like an old friend. Destination, Trent's Marin Lair. A glass-walled monstrosity, overlooking the bay. Guarded by NDAs and non-competes.
En route.
We divvied roles. I'd infiltrate as Eliza. The jilted fiancé. She'd pose as me. The unhinged sister, to create diversion. Risky. Controversial, impersonating each other deeper into the lie. What if we got caught? Joint custody of the fraud charges? Marin traffic crawled. Eucalyptus whispering warnings. Mom texted, heard from a friend, FBI sniffing around Soul Swap. Stay safe. Girls. Girls. As if we were kids fighting over dolls. Not adults swapping souls for survival. Trent's gate buzzed open at my Eliza's voice print. A tech he couldn't scrub. The house screamed excess, infinity pool merging with fog. Servers humming in the basement like captive beasts. He greeted me at the door. All cologne and concern.
Babe.
After that shit show. I thought you'd ghost. Come in, let's fix this. Fixed with lies. No doubt. I played the part, tears, embraces, leading him to the study with its wall of screens tracking crypto dips. Trent, the swap. It broke me. But you get it.
Right?
Reinvention. His eyes lit.
Predatory.
Exactly. Ditch the baggage. We reboot together, new identities. The Cayman accounts. Your sister's the fall guy, always was. There it was, the pivot.
Me.
Reduced to collateral. Rage simmered. But I smiled. Pouring scotch from his decanter. Show me the books. Prove you're all in. He hesitated, then caved, arrogance. His Achilles. Laptop open. Ledger spilled. Wire transfers to Voss. Kickbacks from the asset sales. Even a slush fund labeled Brinley distraction. $500,000? Chump change to his billion skimmed. And Dad's meds? A line item. Harper Mercy. $50K expedited. Nausea rose. But I steadied. Slipping a USB into the port. Virus from a dark web drop. Courtesy of Eliza's old hacker contact. Uploading our future, I murmured, as files hemorrhaged to anonymous servers. Outside. Diversion cracked, sirens,
Shouts.
Eliza, as me, had tipped campus security about a trespasser, drawing cops to the gate. Trent bolted upright. What the? I shoved him toward the window. Buying seconds. Your mess.
Love. Clean it.
Chaos cascaded. Alarms blaring. Pool lights strobing red-blue. He lunged for a safe, panic button. But I tripped him. Heels snapping like a gunshot. Controversial? Assault in her body. My intent. But survival's gray. We fled separately. Me through the vineyards. Her waiting in the Mustang 2 blocks down. Reunited. Engine roaring. We peeled out as choppers thrummed overhead. Got it all. I gasped. USB burning in my fist. Enough to bury him. Her grin, my grin was feral. And Voss? He's next. The drive to the clinic was silent reckoning. Billboards hawked self-help seminars. Unlock your potential. Mocking our locked fates. Side effects gnawed. Flashes of her memories intruding mine. Cocktail parties bleeding into oil changes. Who was I becoming?
Brinza? Ileli?
The merge Voss warned of loomed. A controversial surrender. Fight it. Or flow. Voss's warehouse squatted in an industrial ghost town. Chain link rattling in the wind. We burst in. Him mid-surgery on some desperate soul, scalpel hovering like judgment. You, he yelped. Mask slipping. Eliza pinned him, my strength surprising us both, while I yanked the drives. Reversal.
Now.
Or your client gets a new face. He complied, trembling, prepping the rig. Straps bit into skin, her skin as needles pricked. This'll hurt, he muttered. Merges complicate, darkness swallowed. A vortex of selves. Woke to beeps. Her face hovering, wait. My face? No. Eliza's eyes blinked down, green and guilty. Bryn?
It's me.
Swap complete. Bodies realigned, but souls? Fractured prisms. I flexed my calloused hands, scars welcome as old boots. Yet her poise lingered in my spine. A ghost limb. We torched the place, gasoline and matches. Flames licking servers like absolution. Drove out as inferno crowned the night. 500,000 reclaimed? In trusts. Untouchable. Trent? Indicted by dawn. Ledgers leaked to the Times. But the real climax waited in Ohio. Mom's porch swing creaking under starlight. She enveloped us, no questions. Just quilts and cocoa. Families break, she said softly. But they reforge. Eliza broke then. Sobs racking my old frame. Confession poured. Not just greed, but fear. Dad's shadow too long. My grit too bright. She'd swapped to escape.
Sold to survive.
Controversial forgiveness? I weighed it. Dad's letters rustling in my pocket. Mercy. After all. Twist's shadow. A call from Voss's burner. Not over. Trent's got backups, your merges? He's selling the tech. Inversion, not victims, but vectors. The swap virus spread? Ohio's chills seeped through the farmhouse walls. Frost etching windows like accusations. Mom's kitchen hummed with normalcy. Percolator gurgling. Bacon sizzling, but the air crackled with unfinished business. Eliza and I sat across the scarred oak table.
Her in my sweats.
Me in a borrowed flannel that smelled of lavender and lies. The merge lingered. I'd catch myself smoothing hair I no longer had, or craving kale smoothies amid Mom's biscuits. She noticed. Of course, maternal radar unerring. You two look like you've been through the ringer.
Spill.
We did. Haltingly. The swap. The sales. Dad's hidden hell. Her face hardened at the letters, but softened at Eliza's tears. Oh, honey. We all carry sins. The question is,
Do elétrica define US?
define us. The words echoed as we plotted the endgame. Trent's backups, neural blueprints, swap protocols threatened a black market bonanza. Body hopping for the 1%. Ethics be damned. Controversial call. Expose it all. Torch the remnants. Or co-opt. Build a legit neurotech firm. Regulated. Redemptive? Eliza's eyes lit, her old fire. Tempered. We could. Turn poison to cure. I nodded. The decision settling like gravel under tires. Not clean vengeance, but evolution. Risky FBI tales. Media hounds, but debatable. Heroes or hustlers. Back west. We mobilized. Mom wired seed money from Dad's secret stash, ironic lifeboat. Eliza hit her network. Flipping allies, I rebuilt the garage, converting it to a lab, torches for welds, now for circuits. SoulSwap's carcass yielded assets, patents. The coders disillusioned by the fall. We rebranded. Echolink, therapeutic transfers for the paralyzed.
The Trapped.
No $500,000 heists, empowerment. Earned. Trent, from his cell, raged via smuggled notes. You'll regret this. The merge is forever. He wasn't wrong. Nightmares blended, his boardrooms invading my bays. But strength grew in the hybrid. Her savvy, my steel. Climax crested in a Reno warehouse, his last holdout. Feds waited outside, our tip, anonymous. We stormed in, Eliza with a drive of countermeasures, me with a crowbar for sentiment. He stood amid humming pods, gaunt and snarling. Sisters united? Pathetic. I built you, funded the dream. Dream? Eliza spat, my voice fierce in her throat. You peddled nightmares. He lunged, fist connecting with her jaw, controversial blur, fight or flight. I swung, crowbar glancing his shoulder, bones cracking like myths. Feds burst in, tasers singing. Cuffed. He sneered. The truth? Your dad begged for it. Eliza's idea. But he signed off, euthanasia pact. Twist reversed, inversion upon inversion. Dad's final letter. Buried deeper. Confessed complicity. I chose the end, girls. For you, to free the inheritance clean. He'd borne the cancer's lie, letting Eliza's shoulder blame to spare us court. We'd avenged a ghost of our making. Trent hauled away. Empire dust. We watched flames claim the pods. Rebirth and pyre. Months blurred to healing. Echolink soared, grants. Headlines, Sisters' Redemption, from betrayal to breakthrough. 500,000? Multiplied in impact. Lives swapped for mobility. Not malice. Eliza and I, roommates in the Tahoe cabin. Fishing at dawn. Scars fading. Mom visited. Pies in tow. Swing creaking tails. Ending? No tidy bow. Debates rage in op-eds. Vigilantes or visionaries. I drive the Mustang. Wind whipping. Her laugh. Ours. Mingling with Dad's echo. Last laugh?
Shared.
Family? Reforged in fire and forgiveness. Or is it? In quiet nights. The merge whispers, who are you now? We laugh anyway. It's American as apple pie, messy. Resilient. Unapologetic.